I'm not gonna let nothing stop me. Still going to my destination. I gotta run this field through here now and see what happens. Just, what's your name stuff? See if it get some act right in them. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. Round's opinion don't matter. Yeah, my truck broke down. I had to put some fuel stuff in there. And now I gotta drive it and let it run through the system enough. And hopefully it clears that up. I think I got some bad gas. Well, I know I got some bad gas. I ain't thinking. I know I got some bad gas. I'm just hoping it don't start cutting off like it was before. But we ain't got some diesel fuel cleaner and getting the moisture out of there. One person on the live said something about some seafoam, but for some reason they didn't have it. But they might have. I could have went to another place, but I wasn't gonna play that game. Let me get something in there and see if I can clear it up real fast. We'll see what happens. I gotta drive it now to see what happens. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day for breaking your vehicle to break down. Yeah, I take everything in stride. I don't like to get flustered. If it wouldn't have started, I just had to call a tow truck, whatever. So far, so good. It seems like it's running a little bit better, but we'll see. Should have never got gas there. Normally I'll be on the stock market right now. I'll be on the stock market. Fortunately, I need to go get something to eat. I was trying to go to a specific place, but I don't know if I'm gonna go there now. Now I got to go somewhere a little bit. I got to drive enough to run this stuff through the field now. Probably shouldn't be going far, but I am. I don't care. I do not care. But anyway, for those that come on the live, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate it. It don't hurt nothing. Don't cost you a thing. Don't cost you a nickel. Don't cost you a dime. Just just like, subscribe. That's it. To the OG Network. I mean, we're doing a lot of things with this with my channel and OG Network. We have a family of people that we work in. A lot of people that our YouTube family that support each other, which is, like my man Out the Pit. He has a YouTube. He actually has more than one. And then his wife has one, Queen Sackcloth, who, we hope and get to her 1,000 subscribers soon and become monetized soon as possible. We're doing what we can do to help her get there. The world away from here, is out there making that wonderful music on YouTube, and we appreciate her, and hopefully people start liking and subscribing to her page, and her page grows a lot. Joyce Orr, who's just laid in the cut, supporting everybody's channel as often as they can. My man do magic. I mean, so many people that we have on the YouTube family, and like the Bug, the Fantacular Show, top to bottom, hair and skincare, underscore Bam Bam, RIP Bam Bam underscore. Some of the ones that I mentioned are part of the it's part of the Fracker Show, which is me, myself, Fantacular Show, Out the Pit, RIP underscore Bam Bam, and like the Bug, Chopper, who I am K, but we call her Chopper, Justice runs on Diesel, who they're not there all the time, but they come in here and there. But they're part of the I keep saying Fat-tacular show, part of the Fracas show. And if y'all don't know what the Fracas show is, it's a show that we do on Sundays at 12 o'clock noon, Eastern Standard Time. And we just get on there and we just act the fool. It's unscripted, extremely humorous, sometimes educational, sometimes, we serious. Most of the time, we're not. But in my opinion, the Fracas show is the best show on YouTube, hands down. I don't care what nobody say. In my opinion, the Fracas show is the best show on YouTube. One thing I can say is that, like my brother out the pit, I'm just kind of run down some of the people, what they do. His channel is very diversified. It's not one thing. I mean, sometimes you see him and his wife together. I mean, they're good people. His channel, he does a lot of editing, to the videos, and you can see that he has a real passion for it. He's very good at it. So when you go to his channel, you're gonna see some of his handiwork as it relates to him editing videos, clips, and stuff like that. And you get to appreciate that work that he does with it. Queen Sackcloth is, just in the beginning stages. There were times she was doing lives where she was doing some workout videos. Last night she was cooking some spaghetti, and I think she called it baked spaghetti. I went back later and seen a picture of it, and it actually looked real good. It almost looked like baked macaroni and cheese to me, but either way, so you get a lot of different content. And you know what I love about, the part that I love about YouTube is that it's not, even with other people that is not your page, is that it's so much variety of different people doing different things. So you start to appreciate it. But the reason why I say like and subscribe to people's channel is that what's going on. The reason why I say like and subscribe to people's channels is because a lot of times people look at these people on YouTube and they think, now some of these people live by what they make on YouTube. I don't. I get up and I got a 9 to 5 that I go to every day. So I earn a living. So outside of YouTube don't pay me enough money to live off of. Yes, I'm monetized, but believe me when I tell you, when I listen to people on YouTube, and I'm saying everybody's different, but when you see people on YouTube and you watching their channel, if you're a person that likes this person's channel and you watch that person's channel, and I'm not talking about me specifically, I'm talking about anybody that's a YouTuber that you like their channel, you watch it. If they monetize and the commercials come up, don't skip the commercials. Help the person out and actually watch the commercials. Watch them. Don't skip them. Watch them. That helps the YouTuber a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? That helps the YouTuber a whole lot. That's where, if you got a YouTuber that watch all of their videos. Like all of their videos. Watch the videos all the way through. Engaged in the videos. Like, comment, subscribe. The reason why they say it so much is because if that's how they're making a living, they appreciate that. That helps their channel a whole lot. They have this thing called the hype button where you can hype up a person's channel in the comments. Hit that hype button. I do it for everybody. I can. If I like your content and if I like your channel and I'm subscribed to your channel and I'm on your channel, I will hype up your channel. I will hit the like button all the time. I'm gonna hit the subscribe button. I watch people's videos all the way through, especially if I can just sit back and enjoy it. I watch it all the way through. I don't skip stuff. I try to watch it all the way through. I listen to it all the way through. Like a world away from here, I listen to the music. Now, don't get me wrong, I listen to all the music, but a lot of them, she has some things that are favorite to me, and I play them all the time. I'm quite sure that a good 25 to 30% of her watch hours come from me playing the music all the time. Yeah, I know. It don't give you let you do it all the time. But you know what? Hype is if there's YouTubers that you support, hype up their channel, man. Like that. But all those factors help a lot. A whole lot. I don't know if y'all was on the live earlier or whatever, but my vehicle just shut off on me a couple of times. It was acting up, and now I'm driving it again just to see if the fuel cleaner and stuff, I'm gonna have to run it through the system and hopefully it cleans it up some. But you know, it is what it is. We're gonna keep on going on. We ain't gonna worry about it. I break down. It is what it is. It won't be the first time I've been in a vehicle that broke down before. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I got some bad fuel in my vehicle, and I knew I shouldn't have went there and got gas. I did it anyway, and sure enough, not long after that, I had issues out of my vehicle, and I just got to make sure I never go there and buy fuel again. Not diesel fuel anyway. Regular gas, I might be able to do it, but diesel fuel, don't do it. But yeah, back to the YouTube conversation. So if you know people that do that on YouTube, and they do YouTube content, and you know, not just my channel, anybody's channel. You know what I mean? Hype their channel up, like, subscribe. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is the one that's probably a lot harder for people. If it's somebody you really like, donate to their channel, because a lot of times people don't realize how much money a person puts in. They think, oh, you're just picking up a phone and, you know, you're doing content or whatever the case may be. And to some extent, that might be true in a lot of cases. But this part I'm going to talk about myself because I know differently. I've invested more money into doing YouTube than I get out of, by far, than I get out of YouTube. I can tell y'all that right now. Based on the things that I purchasing, the StreamYard that I had to purchase, the backgrounds and stuff, everything that I did to go on to YouTube, I spent a lot more money to do YouTube the way that I'm doing it than I get out of YouTube. Like there, even when I go to the gun range, sometimes I go there to enjoy myself, but there's sometimes I go to the range to get gun footage so that I can post videos about it. Gun range ain't cheap. Yeah, I went and got, as far as my vehicle, this is actually where I originally broke down. Now I'm back to where I broke down the first time and it cut off. Well, I ain't gonna say broke down and cut off. I didn't break down. It kept cutting off. It cut off. It started back up, but I'm alright. Yeah, this one. Yeah, my vehicle has 260,000 miles on it right now. I've had it for about 10 years. It still don't look bad. It still runs pretty good. You know what I mean? I've had to put some money into it, you know, doing repairs and stuff. But the amount of money that they want for these vehicles, I just don't want to. I don't want to spend it. I just think that vehicles are just so overpriced. It's so expensive. I just don't want to spend the money for them. I mean, I know at some point I'm gonna have to, because that's just, you know, it is what it is. We, you know, for most of us, we need vehicles. I don't know why they act like vehicles ain't a necessity now, and they are. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, you know, they just as much of a necessity as a house is, because we all using them. It wasn't a luxury before, it was a luxury. Now it's a necessity, everybody's using them. So, but I don't want to spend. I just think they're very, 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 very overpriced. I think they put stuff in vehicles that they don't need to have in them. You know what I mean? All of this technology that they put into these cars, I didn't grow up with all of that. So I know you don't need it. You don't need all this technology. Honestly speaking, I don't know why they put it in there. Some of it I understand. But honestly, you don't need none of that stuff in there. And the reason why you don't need it, because if they build the car a certain way, let the aftermarket business, for people that want specifics, let them go buy it and specifically put that stuff in their vehicle. Don't go building the car with all the stuff in there, because at that point, The people, the average person can't even afford them no more. Because they just shoved all this unnecessary stuff in there. I guarantee you that if the average person bought a new vehicle, there's a whole lot of stuff your vehicle do you didn't even know it did, and you never used. But yet you paying for it. But yet you're paying for it. And that's why I don't, I just think, you know, when it comes to owning a vehicle, you know what I mean, they're just too expensive, and I'm not into, you know, I might have to eventually buy one, but I'm doing everything I can do right now not to. But, you know, like I said, if you guys on there, when it comes to YouTubers, I'm going to get back to YouTubers again. Like their page, subscribe to their page, if you support to that person, what they're doing, their content. But the other thing I was saying is donate to their page if you can. I mean, I don't care if it's $1, $2, $3. If they monetize, you know what I mean, help them out financially, because a lot of times people think these YouTubers are not making the type of money y'all think they making. They're not making that money. I'm telling you, because I'm monetized and I know what comes through the monetization of my page. I only been monetized for a couple of months, and I can tell you right now that if anybody has a page around the size of mine and they monetize, they're not getting a lot of money. So they're never going to be able to quit their job or leave their job and stuff like that. Like, you really have to be a very large page and be very, very, you know, not really out there to really make money with this, to where you probably don't have to get up and still hold on to your 9 to 5 and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I invest all day long. You know, my investments, you know, they help take care of me. Yeah, I work, but I spend time investing every single day. That's the part that I like the most. I don't know, you know, I love investing. You know, if it wasn't, I love doing that more than probably, I don't know, YouTube is on in the same thing, but that's why I kind of combine the two when I do talk about money and finances, investing, how I invest, and what I do. And I keep talking. Sometimes it's redundant, it's the same stuff. But my thing is that I'm not going to stop talking about it, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to get something out of it. You know what I mean? And no, I'm not a financial advisor, but what I have done for myself has worked for me. So somebody might want to take the information and say, you know what, I'm going to maybe take some of the pointers that this person used and add it to my life. And if it helps them improve their financial situation, then, you know, that's a plus for me. That's why I do it. That's why I do YouTube. I mean, yeah, and then sometimes I talk politics, and I have to, because politics affects your livelihood. You know what I mean? What I don't like about the political aspect of it is that a lot of the politicians that have been in, I'm talking about the career ones, Democrat and Republican, they got far away from what their job was about. What the job is about. Now these politicians have totally went into office to try to enrich themselves. Most of them, by far, has been Democrat. By far. It's the Democrats. The Democrats, by far, has went into politics to enrich themselves. Not to help people, not to make life better for the citizens, but to enrich themselves. There's a big gap, extremely big gap between the wealth that Democrats have and the people that actually vote for them. Now, do I think Republicans have that same mentality to some extent? Yes, I do. But it's not on the scale that the Democrats are. Not even close. And that's where the problem lies. Do I think that politicians should, you know, find a way to build wealth? I mean, I'm okay with it, but a lot of them is doing it on the backs of the taxpayers and stealing taxpayers' money. And you can't justify the amount of money that some of these politicians have wealth-wise based off the income that they're getting from the job that they're doing. You just can't. So that's why I try to educate people, and I tell people that one of my biggest educators is the stock market, because it tells me what's going on without using words. I mean, it tells me where the corruption is, where the slick stuff is, who's lobbying for what, and why they're getting what they're getting, without actually saying the words. And that's why I learned to pay attention to it all. And the more I pay attention, the more it helps my decision making as it relates to investing. 100%? No. But it does have an effect on how I invest. and what I see, how I see things going. And even when it came to the Trump administration, when he was running for office, and when he won, and what he was talking about, he was going to campaign on. I said Trump has been a man of his word. What he said he's going to do, I know he's going to do. So I started shifting some of my investments based off of the information that I was getting from him, what he was saying publicly, what he was going to do, what he wanted to do. And it's been everything that he did, he said he was going to do, and every move that I made to try to position myself to benefit from that financially has been spot on. It's been spot on. Every single one. And I like, it amazes me, and I'm like, see, this is why I know people don't like to talk about politics and, you know, their beliefs and stuff like that. Listen, I talk about my belief. I'm a born again Christian in Christ. My belief is Jesus Christ. That's my Savior. He saved my soul. I am what the best parts of me is because of him, and the worst parts of me is because of me. And I stand on that 100. It's, you know, but, you know, when and I always ask God to lead and guide my hands as much as possible, and my thoughts and everything else like that. But listen, it doesn't make you perfect. Just, you know, it just make you God conscious. And it doesn't make you a perfect person. I mean, I got flaws. I got a lot of them. Thing is, I hate my flesh because I got to deal with it every single day. And you know what I mean? And if you're a person that's a child of God, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You war with your flesh every single day because you don't want to live. You want to live the best you can live for God. So you're fighting with your flesh every single day, all the time. And before I was a child of God, I was okay with whatever the flesh said or did. I didn't even see no wrong in it. Like I just thought, you know, humanly, that's just what you do. But now I see the difference. Being born again, and you woke up, and now you see, now you're warring with your flesh, and because you want to please God, and always, you know how you want to please God. You want God to be pleased with you. But he understands that you're dealing with the flesh. The reason why God understands that what you're dealing with in the flesh is because he became flesh and dwelled amongst us. So he understands, he identified with what we're going through and what we're dealing with. You know what I mean? And so when you look at Jesus Christ, God in man form, now he identifies with us and what that struggle is when it comes to the flesh. Even though he overcame it, he still understands what we're dealing with. He understands that we're going to struggle with this thing, and we're going to fight with this thing, and we, you know, and that's why I thank God for his grace and his mercy. And because it ain't easy, you know, it ain't. I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. When you war with your flesh every single day, yeah, it's not easy. But I'm gonna tell you something. One thing you don't do is give up. That's what you don't do. And you don't care about what people's opinion and stuff like that, because everybody's gonna have opinion. Everybody's gonna try to criticize you. Everybody's gonna say you ain't this and say you ain't that. They're gonna say you ain't a child of God. They're gonna try to pinpoint. Listen, unless you got the Lamb's Book of Life in your hand, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. That's it. Unless you got that book in your life and you know that my name or somebody's name is in there or not in there, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. You're making an assumption. I don't care. Oh, well, I'm looking for fruit. Yeah, that's fine. But my thing is this: sometimes the fruit ain't around at the time that me and you are talking. Because there are people out here that they'll say, "Oh, look at fruit." Well, yeah, if they out there preaching the gospel, talking to people about Christ, and they won souls and stuff like that, and you don't see it around you at the moment. I mean, everybody don't carry their fruit everywhere they go at, because some of your fruit is at home. Some of your fruit is out there somebody's house where they got saved. Some of your fruit is in another state because that's where you did your greatest work at. So you can't always determine whether someone has fruit by the brief moment that you encounter them. To know that, you have to be around them long enough to know whether they really produce fruit or not. I mean, you're not going to know a farmer is a farmer if he don't tell you that until you go to his wherever he farming and see, oh, I didn't know you was a farmer. If a guy dressed up in a suit and come to your house and y'all sitting there talking, you're going to say, oh, he got a nice suit on. But then one day you run into him and you go to a mechanic store and you go to get your car fixed. You say, oh, I didn't know you was a mechanic. Well, you assume I never mentioned that I was a mechanic. Because that wasn't the time for me to talk. We was a different situation. So I'm not saying that you can't have an idea or whatever case may be, but that does not determine. You can't determine someone's salvation based off a brief moment that you spend around that person. Is the point that I'm trying to make. Is that if you're around a person long enough and around them enough and see enough of their life, then you can kind of maybe have a better judgment of that. And even that don't mean you're right. It just means you're making a better judgment on the situation. But unless you got that book in your hand, you don't know who's saved, who's not. You don't know who walking with God and who not. You don't know who truly repented and not. But that don't mean you stop preaching the way you preaching and talking the way you talk. I'm just saying you just really don't know. That's all I'm saying. You really don't know. And I'm just talking, y'all. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta listen. I mean, appreciate y'all. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But I'm just talking. So driving, I'm talking. So far, the vehicle seems like it's doing a lot better. I'm not saying it's 100, but it seems like it's actually functioning better. This hill is going to tell me a whole lot. Because, you know, most of it I'm riding in flat surfaces, but I haven't had to actually put some power to the gas, put pedal to the gas to lift it. But if it climbs this hill without an issue, and I know I'm probably all right. So far, so good. Actually, real good. It seems like she's all right. Right now, I'm at 50 miles per hour and it's not doing anything weird. But I appreciate y'all being on this live. I appreciate it. But I'm getting ready to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed, wonderful, wonderful day. I'm out of here. Peace!